Okay, that's the boardroom scene where he is looking through the 5 papers, which he's signing later. And this is basically the picture which made me decide which style I want to use. So right now, as you can see, I already switched into digital. And according to the story, he was sitting at the top, at the head of the table. And I wanted to capture that moment where you had like very different faces, looking at him, interested, angrily, maybe avoiding eye contact, and he's so focused, reading through those papers, and you have the different nations also joining via video call. And I really like how it turned out. You have this, I kind of got the protagonist in this position where he's leaning to the side. His thoughts are sunk into the thing he's like reading about, and he is sitting in this like big seat which is bolstered, has this concentrated look, and you also can see, of course, his age already, and yeah, the overall posture and so on, and the whole scenery. He's in the center of the picture, and he seems to be like very important. Of course, wearing a tie. And this is basically the protagonist. And the next thing I will put into it is I'll make the table, and I again use this fleeing point when I was putting the papers on the table, so to give them like a really realistic 3-dimensional look. And I also decided that the light source is coming from the right, as you also can see like on the map he's holding, and then I was starting to map out, or just painting the other person. So the first character here, I wanted him to kind of, he's not avoiding eye contact. In this situation, I wanted him to, because he's really old, and for me, he had a good connection, good contact to the main character, so he already knew what was going to happen, so and he wasn't against it. So he knows the decision already. It's always like that. The decisions made are made before a meeting. The meeting is just the final event where everything gets official. So he's kind of playing with his tie and not much paying attention. Yeah, his lower arm, like he's not a thin guy, as you can see, so you have like a massive underarm, which I really like how the perspective look of his underarm turned around, because from the observer's perspective it goes like into the area of the paper. You can see it's going into the back. Yeah, so now comes the angry person with a fist on the table. Obviously he wasn't included, or maybe he was included and wasn't like really agreeing to the decision which has been made, but he doesn't like what's happening. He is really looking at the protagonist angrily. It seems like he wants to hit his fist on the table. And then I was first making this really bright color, and again like a fat guy I wanted to draw, but then I thought, like, why a guy? It also can be like, of course, women. Even if you look at the staff of the Ripple team, you have a lot of influential female people, and I don't see why those most important board meetings only have to be with guys. So here I added a woman who is interestedly looking. As you can see, I had some struggles finding the right position of the arms, but in the end she's just leaning on the table, she's married, as you can see, and following what is happening in the front of the scene or in the back of the scene. According to the light source, on the left side should be the shadow, which I'm mapping out right now. And I also decided to use in the front more like grayish colors and like darker gray, and it gets brighter the more you focus on the central person, to increase the impression that this is where the whole thing is happening, like the most important part of the painting. And here also you have one person. You only see crossed legs, leaning in the back. The fingers are intertwined, and this person seems to also know what's going to happen. Yeah, just adding some more details to the chair. And now I am making the other nations which are joining through video conference. So you have like 3 displays on the wall. You have only the silhouettes, because also the short story was saying like on the TV you could see similar boardrooms. And in the end I'm also adding the clocks which are saying which time it is, because it was London, Frankfurt, Hong Kong, and what was the last one? The US, New York. Yeah, and since he was thinking about how he gained his wealth through wars, I wanted to make his thoughts like more visual, and here you can see a jet dropping bombs, or like the mushroom of a nuclear missile, or a fission bomb, atomic bomb. And yeah, adding some more shadows to make this mushroom look more plastic, like more 3-dimensional. And the light source in an explosion comes from within, and this is what this shadow is just intensifying. And that's basically the whole picture. First without his thoughts, and then he starts thinking about war. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned.